The jar of mayonnaise in the bus. Is there a story behind that? I noticed. Or is it something you want to talk about or can talk about? Or
Man, I mean, I can. It's my ex-wife. That's where her remains are. She died in a
no, there was a jar of mayonnaise there. It wasn't. It wasn't ashes. It was like a jar of mayonnaise. There.
No, she died in a vat of mayonnaise.
Okay.
And that's
I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time not laughing, but I mean, that
left.
happened.
That's all we have left of her, to be honest with you. And every time the boys get to missing her, they make a sandwich,
In remembrance?
Yeah, in remembrance, in honor of their mom. And then they get dysentery because she expired 5 years ago.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Back Porch Studio for another great interview with the one and only Dr. Digger Cleverley. How are you, my friend?
I'm good.
It's good to have you in Kenny, Texas.
It's good to be back in Cane, Texas.
When was the last time you were here?
It was last year in June, I think it
June
was.
24th, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So it's been, we've been anticipating this show. Y'all had to make quite the drive to get here.
It's not easy to get here from where we live.
From where y'all are.
Y'all are in Cane Spur, right?
Cane Spur. We're just as far out in the hills as you are out
in whatever we're in.
In whatever you're in.
On the side of a railroad track.
I tell you, first time we pulled up here, and I saw the storefront. I didn't look at the sign at first. I was standing right underneath it, and I'm like, man, there ain't nothing here. I think we've been led to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre or something.
You probably wouldn't be surprised
Nope.
how many.
And then one of the guys goes, "This is it." And I looked up, and the view from the outside is this cool old country, Texas country store. And then you walk in, and it's this cool listening room, and I had no idea you'd be able to get people out this far.
It's well, I can't. Y'all do. Y'all bring them out here, and that's kind of where the Wednesday night thing started. We just were like, man, we wanted to book live music, and basically Cleverley's Facebook page would have way more than we did back then, and so we started booking the acts and letting them introduce their fans to us, and that's the way that's the way it was built, and it grows. I think if we could, expand it double more on the inside, we could fill it up, especially for.
We've had no trouble getting people in seats out here, and which was a pleasant surprise to us. These old boys from the hills,
right?
That started off on YouTube and social media, basically. And then to get people way out in Kenny, Texas that know what we're doing.
Far away. It's y'all are one of the few that we do 2 nights. Normally it's one Wednesday night and we fill it up on that night, but generally, we don't have the draw. The band is not the draw to be able to do it 2 nights with every one of them. Mm-hmm. I would say out of the 12 shows that we do a year, maybe only 3 are gonna have 2 shows like that where we can sell out 2 nights. And last night was as phenomenal as always. I mean, it was a great crowd there. Tonight is sold out and still people trying to get in type of stuff. So it's y'all are unbelievable, and y'all deserve everybody that shows up.
And I know you get a lot of music and stuff like that. You get great acts in here down here. Your poster board, we were admiring it today. But it's a great comedy room, man.
Ah, man, it
is.
It really is. I love coming here for that. And remember after the first show we did here, I said I want to do a live album here someday, and I still want to someday.
And we're gonna do it. I mean, we were
talking about it today.
We were talking about it today. We were talking about it last night. That we can pull this off. This would be easy. To do this because the crowd is so unbelievable. They listen. That you can hear every part of it. The sound guy that we got, Chip, you can hear it so clear through that room. It's just got a good feel. And
that's the thing I like about it also is how you set it up, the shows here. I wish a lot of venues And this turned into me interviewing you.
We got time. We got time. Come on.
I guarantee you have
But-
better questions.
a lot of venues don't set the show up. They're just like, all right, go out, go do your thing, and you got to win the crowd over. You need a hand, especially in a honky tonk atmosphere, or we play clubs, rock and roll clubs, and those atmospheres. If the promoter would come out and go, y'all, I want you to listen to these guys. You're going to miss something if you don't listen to every word they say.
And because it's clever as a cleverly's art. If you're not listening the whole time, you can't come in on the back end of the joke on the punchline, and it's not always going to make sense with y'all because it's clever.
I appreciate that. And if you don't listen, then they'll whoop your ass.
Yeah.
With Six Snuffy.
We'll stick Snuffy over there first, and then
You'll get a
if
flashlight.
Snuffy can't get it done, they call the muscle, and then I got to go in there and deal with it.
Yeah.
Snuffy really doesn't have the size and to really pull this thing off.
Speaking of the Cleverleys, tell us about the band. Tell us about all your band members and how y'all are doing and how's everything going.
We're doing good. We thought with COVID and live events that it was going to be tough this year. And, man, we've been blessed. We have. We cannot complain one bit. And people are coming to live shows, and they're having great experiences, and you can tell people miss that.
Right.
Yes.
So this year's been good, and we're in a great place.
It is good.
And the band, of course, we still got Ricky Lloyd. And a lot of people, we get questions a lot of times from people that go, well, this guy's not here, and what happened to this guy? Well, a lot of people have different, they have families and they have real jobs that they have to do sometimes.
They just haven't seen an Arkansas family tree. They don't know how big that can get. And when it comes to the music over there,
Yes.
you can grab.
And there ain't no limbs on that tree.
Well,
It just goes.
But there's enough cousins and nephews and uncles, and they can all
No,
play.
especially
and
on Cleverley Mountain. Stone County is half full of Cleverleys. And that's the truth. We got around. We spread it.
Y'all wasn't shy.
Uh-uh.
Y'all was heavy on the court.
No. And we, popular bunch of people. But let me tell you, we are never short of talent, though.
Right.
When Ricky Lloyd started, he brought something different than Miles did to the group.
Right.
And DVD has brought something different.
Miles was probably one of y'all's better bus drivers, wasn't he?
He was down in this country. He could drive on them straight stretches.
Oh, them straight stretches.
Yeah.
Did you know Miles?
I did not.
Miles was blind.
Oh, okay.
So
He was my blind
Bass
brother that he drove the bus on straight stretches.
Nice. Okay.
And did all the cooking and cleaning and all that. But anyhow, Ricky Lloyd has completely even, kind of created his own space in the band, and it's made the sound different.
you got
And
better hips.
I love it, and I love the stuff that DVD has brought into the group, and of course my grandson Quatro, I got two boys, Junior and Junior.
Right.
And he's Junior's boy. Junior run off to be a performance artist in a traveling circus. And he'd pick up cinder blocks with various body parts and stuff like that. It was a really interesting show. And the ladies loved it.
Oh, I'm sure.
And
I'm sure.
then he's about 3 years later is when this gal showed up with a Quatro and dropped him off there at the house, and we raised him up ourselves there on the Cleverley Mountain. He's a good boy and a solid fiddle player.
He is very solid.
Solid fiddle
How long
player.
you been playing?
He's been playing his whole life. He showed up holding. He knew how to hold a bow before he could walk. And that's just being a Cleverley.
Right.
That's when I knowed. I didn't need no DNA test to know who that boy was. You know what I mean? He come in there,
totally.
right off the bat. And when he was a little kid, he wanted to get on stage with us. But we had to keep him hemmed up for a little while. He's kind of, he's got that stash. He's famous for that mustache.
I watched a girl try to give him $5 just to touch it
Just
last
to
night,
touch
but he
it.
does have a price. The man's got standards. He wasn't going to do it for $5.
He's had that stash since he was 5 years old.
That's why it's so full.
I
Did you
kidding
say
you.
the dad was Sam Elliott? I didn't catch.
That was my boy.
Right, if you say it,
It's my
what's
boy.
that mustache look like?
I mean,
on
you can look
Junior?
at him. He's a spitting image of me. If
Well,
you
I
look
mean,
at him.
Without the sunglasses, throw it off sometimes.
Yeah, and he's a little shorter.
Just a little bit.
By a couple feet. But, he's mine. I knowed he was when he was holding that bow. He come in. Who else? Kid grandson would do something
Right.
like that. Lee, anyway, he's been with us ever since. I raised him up like he was mine, and he's a good boy. And man, he's a solid asset to the group.
And Steven
Pardon me,
Tyler.
Stephen Tylerdale.
Yep.
He's in the group. He's been with us since we got back out on the road. Actually, since June, he was actually up in college, up in the Northeast. And he was studying the Galapagos Islands. He was preparing to go over there and to see what the effect the North American grizzly has had on the Galapagos Islands.
Has there been any major effects?
None whatsoever. No. In fact, he found out there ain't even no North American grizzlies over there.
Maybe I guess that's why they haven't affected them at all. It's the only thing I can think.
I mean, one with sense would know that.
Would know that.
And so I'm glad that he was able to spend that $2 million grant from the government to find that out.
Now DVD. Now how long ago? Now that's the first cleverley to graduate from college, correct?
He is. Man, we're proud of that boy.
Oh, I can imagine. First one.
He's the first one.
What did you major in?
VCR repair. He's opened up a brick and mortar even. Because, you look in everybody's house now, it's got vinyl records.
True.
15, 20 years ago, only hardcore music lovers still had vinyl
And
records.
even some of them were in the attic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they might have come back. Hell, they're in everybody's house now. And he thought, well, if that's going to happen with vinyl records, it's going to happen with VHS tape.
It's gonna make my wife very happy with all them Disney movies from the kids.
I know.
So,
Tom
you know what?
Selleck movies.
We've got a broken one here. We may just need to send back and see, unless he's got his tools with him.
I bet he could clean the heads today. I know.
That may be all it needs.
He opened him up a brick and mortar there in Nashville, on the east side, and it's a little kiosk in an Ethiopian restaurant.
Is he busy? Got a lot of clients.
Hadn't had his first one yet,
No.
Okay.
but we're thinking it's just because of the COVIDs and stuff.
Or
You know,
something. Maybe
probably.
he can pair up with the restaurant or something to maybe try to work a deal where they can.
Well, and that's why we're announcing it on, mediums like this.
And I
get
was
the
just kind
word
of
out.
I was kind of
If
walking that
anybody-
into there so you could let him know about the special. that he's
If
been
anybody
working.
from here in Texas, especially this part of Texas, happen to be in Nashville with your VCR, it's the second exit past the airport out there on the east side going down I-40. I can't remember what the name of that exit is, but it's the one after the airport. Turn there, hang you right. There's a cluster of Ethiopian restaurants down there. Go in each one until you find his kiosk in the very back, and he'll give you a free head cleaning. And they'll give you a piece of injera bread.
That's a deal you
That's-
can't.
I mean-
you can't beat.
I mean, you know why I'm bustling with pride.
I'm.
Yep.
And that's
He's a
why
good decision maker. You can say that about him.
He's he basically kind of halfway managing the bus at this point. Y'all giving him any more responsibilities?
No,
with an education
he's
like
got
that?
so much to worry about his
Well,
own
that's true.
business and
That's
then
true.
taking
Don't
care
wanna
of his
overload the
part
young
in the
man.
band. I don't want to load him up. Kids these days, he's 35 years old. He can't expect it to be, to do grown-up things.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. He needs
So
to kind
we're
of
just proud he's out of the basement. You know what I mean?
True. Who does, when y'all are on the road like that, who does most of the cooking and stuff when y'all are out and about?
We swap those duties out, including me. I'm a good cook. I do actually most of the the preparing and cooking, but the boys all take turns cleaning and all that sort of thing. I've always loved to cook. You know, I haven't had the best luck with my wives, and so I've always ended up having to cook for myself. Except on Sunday, Mommy still cooks.
Right.
We still go up to her place, but I had to do most of the cooking around the house, and so I do a lot of that. It's just second nature.
I've seen your videos.
Well, man, I actually got to taste some of my spices on your chicken last night. Cane Spur's got the skinny on the fried chicken. Y'all can cook.
Thank you.
Yeah, speaking of cooking.
Yeah, that's it. Y'all's digging. You got digging chicken.
Digging chicken. I got the Dig It seasoning. That's a all-purpose, kind of like a jalapeno Greek type seasoning. It's really good. And then I've got a butt rub.
Butt rub.
They say I'm, pretty good at rubbing butts.
After all the lab work, I read on the bottle. I mean, they've got you. You're dang near classified an expert at this point as a butt rubber.
Dude, I've spent a lot of time in what I like to call the flavor lab. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. Experimenting, rubbing butts.
Yes,
and
yes.
Yeah.
That's
Now,
my deal.
Got to be good at something.
Exactly. Yes.
And so, rubbing butt would be something to strive for.
Why wouldn't you want to be good at that?
I'm gonna agree with you there.
You know?
I'm gonna agree with you.
So, you and I were talking yesterday. You've got I guess it's a foundation or a benefit that you're trying to put together for, I don't know if it's near future, if it's in the summer.
This is kind of a long story. If I got a minute.
You got 60 of them this hour, and then we can just keep going.
Yeah. Well, a good friend of mine, his name is Joe Wilson, and he started Steaks for Sheepdogs. And Steak for Sheepdogs, and he's calling sheepdogs your police, firefighters, first responders, emergency room technicians, armed forces, the people that are looking out for us.
Right.
Is what he's calling sheepdogs.
Makes total sense.
And when the police shooting in Dallas several years ago happened, he thought, Lord, there's a lot of people taking heat for things that they didn't do, and whenever they're out there putting their lives on the line, taking away from their family, out there serving their communities, and they do it selflessly. They don't do it for recognition.
Right. I know they don't do it for the paycheck.
But whenever all they're hearing is how they're animals and getting spat on by people, he just wanted to be one of them that loved on them.
Right.
And so he got together a group of volunteers, and they're mostly like competitive chefs, barbecue pit masters, competitive steak chefs. Got them all together and mobilized a bunch of volunteers, started this Steak for Sheepdogs, and now he goes to communities all over the country now. It started locally, then regionally, and he's even come down here. I talked to Snuffy last night, and Snuffy said, man, I want you to tell your buddy I appreciate him, because they had a fallen officer here.
Yeah, they had a trooper get shot.
Yep. And Steaks for Sheepdogs mobilized and come down here. Mm-hmm. And so to see how touched Snuffy was over that, right. I can't wait to pass that on to my buddy, Joe, good friend, Joe. But so he started this organization, and I'm no way a part of it, but I'm an advocate for it.
Right.
These guys are out there doing it, and I want to speak for them every chance I get.
Train going by.
You can't get away from it.
Lonesome Texas country right there. I love it.
It's in every video.
Every show.
It comes by about every 7-8 minutes.
They ought to be sending us a check for some type of sponsorship as much as we get that going by. But y'all gonna play. Y'all gonna play for an event that's coming up, I think, and you're trying to help out maybe a little. Just
gather
up some of the friends.
Joe started this other thing called the World Champion Squirrel Cook-Off.
Okay.
And you know me, and you know my deal with squirrels. I love limb chicken is one of my favorites. It's a delicacy on Cleverley Mountain.
Right.
And but he started this World Champion Squirrel Cook-Off, and it's become a huge event. And so we're going to be a part of that.
That's neat.
That also raises money for steaks for sheepdogs, and so we're trying to make the World Champion Squirrel Cook-Off bigger and better than ever, so that we can keep raising money for steaks for sheepdogs. It's kind of in our heart. I know it's in y'all's.
Yeah, very much.
You're
so.
a former police officer yourself.
Rita,
Thank you for your
Rita,
service,
20
Rita
years.
as well.
You
And
know.
so anyway, we're just musicians, but we can show our appreciation
Right.
and do our part. You know, God made me do this. He made you do that, or made you to do that.
Right.
And I know all this, and police work is your calling. I know this is mine, and so the only way I can help out is just try to get the word out, and then, when
Go
we
out,
can.
use your talent for the
Exactly.
benefit of other people. So, and we talked about it last night. Anything y'all need, I mean, we can load up and come.
Well, what we're planning on doing is having the Squirrel Cook-Off, and there's competitive chefs from all over the country that come to that. I'd like to get y'all to be one of the
That'd be
teams in
neat.
it as well. That'd be
neat.
fun.
It'd be a lot of fun.
But we're gonna have a kicking concert afterwards with some comedians and some bands. We don't have our lineup together yet, but and we're gonna combine Cleverley Fest and the World Champion Squirrel Cook-Off.
Now we're talking.
Can't lose there.
Yeah.
What do you in your downtime? I mean, do you hunt? Do you fish? Do you
All the time. Yeah.
play bingo? Or I mean, what do you do?
Well, I mean, we fish. We love. We got so we live in the Ozarks. The Buffalo River system and the White River system kind of goes through there, where we're from. You got great trout fishing and smallmouth fishing. Got a few lakes around there, Greers Ferry Lake and Bull Shoals Lake. Got top-notch bass fishing. So yeah, I love to fish and hunt, turkey hunt, deer hunt, squirrel hunt, limb chicken.
Limb chicken.
I've never heard it
I
called that.
love them limb chickens.
I learned that. Just learned that today now.
You just don't eat over a old boy that uses a shotgun. You'll come
Right.
Might
out.
get a little crunchy.
You wonder why people losing teeth in the Ozarks because they don't know how to kill a damn squirrel.
they can't. Well, they don't got all them BBs in there to trying to chew up, cracking their dang teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, the experience here in Kenny that we had last night was pretty special. The crowd loved it. We enjoyed the heck out of it, and I'm glad to have y'all back for sure.
It's one of my most anticipated, and I don't say that very often. I get people ask me all the time, I can definitely say when it comes to that traditional bluegrass, like y'all put on that buttery smooth bluegrass, as you like to refer to it as, definitely my favorite there. But I mean, all in all, y'all got to be my favorite group that comes through.
For sure.
I mean, just the guys, just the boys and you and stuff like that. Y'all are family. I mean, and
Man, I'm glad you said that. We feel the same way.
it's
We love coming here. It's the whole experience of the Kenny store
this
and
time,
the staff, and this could be a reality show.
We've said that.
We've said that numerous
I'm
times.
not
Yeah,
kidding you,
no.
man.
All the characters.
If you
around
had
here.
cameras going around following you guys around, of course you'd have to include some of the extended family,
Right.
Richard and Snuffy
Man.
and all that bunch. But dude, let me tell you, y'all would rule MTV.
Maybe CMT.
Rule it.
I know he could pull off
Oh.
CMT. GAC, one of them.
The only thing we're missing, and I think Tony was about to bring this up too. Richard Sims wasn't here this time. That's the only family member
Yeah.
we're missing.
Yeah.
We give a big shout out to Richard.
Been under the weather, but he said he's 100% better than he was, so he's way on the mend. So
Yeah.
he got knocked down a little bit there. Was dragging over the weekend, so he said he was going to take it easy and everything. So, but we got to FaceTime him last night, and he got to see the show. So the crowd had to just see him with no shirt on for a while. But I mean, that didn't seem to be very distracting.
I'm disappointed. We love Richard too, and we want him to feel better. I'm glad he is. And but we were looking forward to. In fact, me and Richard had a squirrel hunt planned.
Y'all were gonna go squirrel hunting.
He was going to take me out that exotic place out there, and let me shoot some of them African limb chickens.
Them African limb chickens.
Yeah, I know he's
them
got
exotics.
some of them exotics
Yeah.
out there.
There's no telling what
It's
he's got.
amazing how he keeps them in that high fence.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Yeah,
he
I don't
does
even
that.
He's got them there. I guess he just don't put the trees close to the fence so if they jump, they don't get all the way across. I don't know.
Yeah.
But maybe he's just got them trained.
Yeah.
They're probably staged. Just like when you go these big high dollar deer hunts or something, and the guy's in the bushes letting the deer out of the cage and trying to push it out there so the guy can shoot it. It's probably one of them deals. It's probably.
Yeah, he's
released
probably
them
up there.
Yeah, he's got them
Got a
tied
little
down.
Wooden box up there in the top of a pecan tree.
Jake got them tied down, and when y'all come through, he just cuts it real quick, and the thing gets out there a little ways before y'all can get to it. So, but there's no telling with what Richard's got going out there in his neck of the woods. But I talked to him this morning again, and he said he's feeling great, bounced back, and but he was going to lay up tonight. But he said, well, I hope I get to see him again. I said, Richard, as long as they're playing and we're here, I said, which I don't see either one of us stopping this anytime soon. I said, they're going to be back. I think we're maybe looking at maybe, I don't know, we'll look at next July or something like that so you don't deal with all this cool weather.
Yeah.
This cool front
weather
that came through, it's awesome. We can't get away from the heat, but it's been good the last week or two. Weather's been good, but.
Well, we got another show tonight we're excited about.
And then where y'all go from? You're going to Ingram?
To Ingram.
Going out west.
You'll have to tell me how to get there.
Just go west.
Okay.
You'll run out of road eventually, and then you can either double back or make a left. It'll be right there.
Yeah, okay.
It'll be right there on the right after you make a left or double back.
Through San Antonio.
Yeah.
It's that way. But yeah, we're looking forward to that. And then we're going to the Saxon Pub in Austin.
Oh, nice.
What a cool place.
Yeah, that's
What a cool place. Y'all played there before?
No, we've never been to the Saxon Pub.
That in Austin, man, it's one of those staples. It's one of those, when there's places in Texas that you think about, the Broken Spoke is there in Austin. That would be another one that y'all should check out. Saxon Pub. You got Billy Bob's up in Dallas. Of course, you got, Lukenbach, and you got Green and stuff like that. But you're going to one of the icons of Austin, Texas music, and where it started up. Ryan Bingham come out of there initially. Started just kind of playing a solo acoustic thing, and he took off from there. A lot of Dale Watson, a lot of those guys that come through Austin, right there through the Saxon.
I love Dale. Dale was one of the first Texas acts that I got into about 25 years ago.
That's an easy one to get into. That's a good starter.
Yeah, him and Bobby Flores.
Mm-hmm.
And oh man, there's so many.
Bobby stopped in here and they shot a bunch of photos for album cover or something. Some of their social media. They were over at a friend of ours' place in Navasota at the Western Club, and they were coming through and stopped. We get a lot of them that stop through and just want to get inside and get in that old stage because it's awesome for album covers and stuff. Shiny Ribs, one of their album covers was from the front of the store. So
man, we love those guys too. We actually got to play with them about a month ago.
They not some fun.
Yeah, they are. So. We got to jam with them a little bit.
When I first booked you, we had Kevin and Shiny Ribs. We'd had them out here probably 3 or 4 times at that point, and then. Richard introduced me to y'all, and so I contacted Ben, and when we booked y'all, when people would say, what is this Cleverley's like, and I just would go, man, they're kind of like a hillbilly Shiny Ribs is all I can tell you, because they had seen Shiny Ribs, and they were like, I was like, it's its own thing. It's a show is what it is. It's not about any one individual song or whatever. What y'all do is spectacular.
Thank you.
So,
and you say a show. I love that people use it that way because it is, and we try to frame it like that.
Right.
You know, we want every minute to be entertaining, and some people get it, and some people don't.
But I'm gonna tell you, my favorite part of every night of y'all's show, and I think I told you that last night. I mean, y'all start out, and every one of you guys can stand alone in the bluegrass genre with your picking and your singing and your ability. Every one of y'all are not, you know, I mean, you know what I'm saying? So y'all lay it down on that first song, and I watch the crowd and they're loving it. And then when y'all go into your second song and they get the little twist on the show, or they get some of the comedy, that's the most rewarding part, is when you first start in that second song after a real, you know, traditional bluegrass, and they go. 'Cause it sounds bluegrass, but the words don't always match with what they were anticipating, you know, and it's a show, and it's so neat to watch people just go nuts over it all night long and respond.
Man, thank you. We enjoy it, and it's enjoyable to us. In fact, some of your staff last night, we were talking about after the show about things that were going on in the crowd, and she said, "You guys pay attention more than what we thought, or you guys see more than what we thought." I said, "We see everything." What's funny is people think that the edge of the stage there's a wall, and that only that they can see us and we can't
Like
see
a one-way mirror.
Yeah, we can see people on the phones.
Right.
We can see people scratching, you know. We can see people touching. We can see people arguing. We see the whole thing.
Y'all get a
Everything.
show of your own every night.
We do, and we talk about it.
Right. I know y'all do.
That's what we do on the bus.
Exactly,
Did
that's what
you
they're-
see? That guy didn't even know it was hanging out down there.
It was hard not to look at it all night
Yeah,
long.
just sitting on a chair like you. He had no idea. True story, by the
I'm
way.
sure it is.
Yeah.
I'm sure y'all have seen a many a
50 minutes.
Yeah,
Golly.
just there it
Just
was.
white shorts that come up to here, and
And there it was.
there it was.
All the
Just-
Frank and Beans just standing there enjoying the show.
Well,
with
y'all just all of a sudden he's just like, you know what? It's fresh air out here.
y'all. Just come on out and see how the show was.
You know what I mean? I don't know how that he didn't get that
He didn't get the
sensation
draft.
How do you
the
go to
cool-
sleep at a concert?
the cool theater that we were in. He didn't feel that at all. I guess you lose sensation down.
At some point. If it's hanging out the bottom of your shorts,
I
the
mean, come on
sensation's
now.
probably gone anyway.
Yeah.
So.
So there was an intermission, and then we're all back there, you know, trying to get our game face back on, because let me tell you, we did a lot of snickering and laughing. And then the second song of the second set, we're out there, and he crosses his leg, and it's one of them long crosses. It's not the
It's not the
one
tight
your mom does. It's the old man cross.
Yeah,
you know.
exactly.
Just kick the old leg up there, and there it came. Back out. It's like it was enjoying the show too, you know. Why wouldn't it want to see the intermission? It saw the whole first half.
Well, yeah, it's got to catch the back half. I mean,
Got to catch the end, the finale.
Nobody
you know.
leaves at intermission.
We always did a patriotic number then,
Exactly.
so you know.
Something for it to rise to attention to.
Jeez.
Oh, what's the I know. I mean, give me a minute on this now. I'm trying to get this mental aspect, because you know it's there. But so the benefit squirrel hunt that started because of the Save the Whale Foundation.
Yeah.
More or less.
It's our love for animals, and actually, Ricky Lloyd's love for animals.
And that was because of his past and everything. He had a pretty tight bond with.
He did. He lived in a lab with rats and monkeys till he was about 14 years old, and he loved animals. He always empathized with them. You know, he always.
You said lived there. Was he like an internship, or was there just?
No, he was just studying his saliva, you know, his spit, and then after that, you know, I just got to notice how he'd talk to him after he'd like shoot a deer. He'd just sit there and talk to it for a while. And so he told me that he just wanted to do something special for animals. So we started a benefit squirrel hunt for Save the Whales.
Makes total sense.
You know what I mean? So 3 days, man, we kill. If it's brown, it's down. You know what I'm saying? Then we eat it. And then we collect for all the squirrels that are killed. It's 11 cents per squirrel we donate to Save the Whales.
To Save the Whales.
And we don't need any kind of pat on the back over that or nothing.
That's how y'all was brought up, I'm sure.
It is. It's how my mama raised me.
Right.
How has that been successful? Have y'all been able
Yeah.
to donate quite a bit of money?
$33
Jesus.
over the last 14 years.
Sounds successful, man.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's going pretty
Just
good.
doing your part.
We're doing our part.
Speaking of mother, is mother still with us?
She is.
Okay.
Yes, she is. She's 91.
Okay.
And I was the youngest of the siblings, and there's me and BD, and Miles, Paradine, and Vera.
Vera.
Yep.
Is Vera
And-
married to Uncle Covis?
Pardon me.
Is Vera married to Uncle Covis, or am I
Uncle
confused?
Covis is married to Aunt Punk.
Okay. They got any kids?
Oh, ton of kids. Harvey C, Harvey D. There's a set of twins. Sock,
Parvo?
Parvo.
Parvo's in there.
Do you follow Parvo on the Facebook?
I tried to. I kind of got off Facebook. It just got a little bit crazy, but so I hadn't really checked in lately. But
Yeah.
you're doing fine last time I was watching.
Doing real good.
Good.
Real good. Keeps the scours. I don't know why, but
Namesake.
yeah. So yeah, that's the kind of the family dynamic. We'll get together during the holidays. We'll cook and eat and pick, hunt.
Y'all got to pick anything y'all working on new as far as new music coming out or anything
Yeah,
like
we're working up some tunes right now. I don't know exactly what we're going to do with them, but we're working on them, and we're looking to cut and film and all that sort of thing. And I don't
Live
know.
at the Kenny store.
Yeah, I wish. We'll have to set something like that up sometime.
That'll be good.
Yeah, for sure.
The comedy just comes natural to you from the show and stuff like that. I mean you just
It's
so
my
engaging.
background as much as music is, comedy is. I come from a funny family.
So far, I can agree with that.
I mean, I really do.
From what I've seen so far, that has never
We're
been
just
said a true
funny,
statement.
and we all joke, we all have a good time, and I think that's why we're so close. To be honest with you, that's why we're such a tight family, and there's so many of us. It's because we're happy. We try our best to be happy and make each other laugh, and so that extends onto the stage.
Right. It just comes out.
Yes.
The jar of mayonnaise in the bus. Is there a story behind that? I noticed. Or is it something you want to talk about or can talk about or?
Man, I can. It's my ex-wife. That's where her remains are. She died in a.
No, there was a jar of mayonnaise there. It wasn't ashes. It was like a jar of mayonnaise. There.
No, she died in a vat of mayonnaise.
Okay.
And that's
I'm sorry. I'm having a
all
hard
we
time not
have-
laughing, but
all we
that
have left.
happened.
That's all we have left of her, to be honest
Okay.
with you. And every time the boys get to missing her, they make a sandwich.
In remembrance.
Yeah, in remembrance, in honor of their mom. And then they get dysentery because she expired 5 years ago. But it's a family thing. That's why we're close. It's because we'll do stuff like that for one another.
That's
Considerate. Very considerate.
but I don't even know what to say. I mean, it's a touching story. I hate that y'all had the loss, but it's kind of humorous. It must be.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way. Maybe that speaks for your character. I don't know.
I think it does.
It really does, but I'm sorry. I mean, not every day somebody goes in a vat of mayonnaise.
Yeah.
What was she doing in the mayonnaise?
She was making it. She worked on a big mayonnaise ranch down there.
Death by mayonnaise.
Dude, we rode the fences, daily. And so she picked, one day she was kind of relieving one of her friends, had to go to a christening or something like that. And she filled in for her, whisking in egg yolks, and her apron string got caught in the paddle wheel and sucked her in.
Oh, that is horrible. No, that's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, now he's.
So now what?
Now I feel
funny?
like an asshole. No,
Yeah.
it's not funny anymore.
No.
No. Well, man.
But
Doc, I'm
we're
sorry.
family. I consider us family. I can get over this if you can.
There's got to be some message out there that you can get to people where that doesn't happen to other people. Maybe
I
that's
want-
another benefit or something.
Look, I use every day I'm on stage. I use as a platform for mayonnaise awareness, and I think that's important.
Yeah,
You
big
know,
time.
Whenever you're, and I'm not saying I'm a celebrity, but we've got a following,
Mm-hmm.
and they've got families and so on and so on, and if I have anything to do with it, there's going to be a little corner of society who's not going to make the mistake and fall in a big vat of mayonnaise if I have anything to do with it.
Is there anything you can do if you do?
Yell help.
That's it.
Don't struggle. It's like quicksand. The more you struggle, the more you sink. So don't do that.
Just sit there and just.
Help, I'm in mayonnaise. Somebody will be along. Her last words were,
Oh boy,
it's awful.
it is awful, and I hate to laugh. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't expect you to do anything less. You were raised by him.
Yeah, fair enough.
Any
Good point.
any other causes? I heard y'all were working on some. I guess we can talk about it. Y'all were trying to get certain things legalized. Y'all were hoping that maybe they could get some stuff legalized and stuff like that. I noticed the T-shirts y'all were kind of pushing for some
Okra.
of that. Okra. Makes total sense.
My family throughout the years have found the medicinal values in okra. We've eaten okra. I mean, my whole life there's times that's all we had
Right.
was okra.
That's why it's a passion for you.
It is a passion, and we found that there's a lot of healing qualities to it, and so it's my dream and the family's dream is that someday that okra can legally be on every table in the United States of America.
Now, I mean, Doc, we talked about me being a police officer a while ago. And maybe is that in Arkansas? Is it illegal in Arkansas? Because in Texas, it's not illegal.
No, it's not illegal, but it
Okay.
ain't legal either.
You want it in the book that it's.
It ain't legal in Texas either.
Well, that's true. Now I can say that. I mean, I know the penal code very well. Nowhere does
Nothing
it-
in that penal code says thou shalt have okra.
You're correct. So you want it. You want everybody to know that it's legal.
I want it to be in there so that the government can't just swoop in the middle of the night and yank your okra plants up out of your garden.
Well, I didn't think about that. That's a possibility. So if it says it's legal, well, then that would pretty much cover all the bases.
Yeah, and I don't care who I have to talk to do that.
Well, I think that's a cause you should continue with.
So that's why we got the Legalize okra T-shirts.
Where do most of those proceeds go to?
Us,
To y'all.
yeah,
100% go
100% goes to us.
to. Well, that's the way y'all were raised.
That's how my mama raised me. I hold the door open for a lady. I say yes, ma'am. That's how I was raised.
And when you sell a T-shirt that's kind of attached to a association like Legalizing Okra, the 100% go to y'all.
100%.
Good deal. Good deal. That's the way it should be. Well, you got anything else you want to talk about today?
Man, I don't know. I love visiting with you boys.
It's been
It's been a
great.
pleasure.
I know
Absolutely.
you got work to do, and
You probably got to go wrangle up the rest of the boys.
so
I'm
it's
sure
got,
they're
got
not.
to be like herding chickens sometimes.
It is sometimes. It is. Chickens that play good music.
No doubt.
No doubt. Well, guys, thanks for taking the time out today to watch our interview. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video. From me, Tony, and Dr. Digger, it's been a pleasure. We'll see you next time.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.